How's it going, everyone? This is Kevin. Today I want to bring you along with me to try out the Neewer extension tubes to make your lenses into macros. So let's jump right into it. So the Neewer macro extensions run at $40 for the set. Basically, you get a 10mm and a 16mm that you can take apart, put together to make it more macro, less macro, and just kind of, use it to what makes sense for your photo that you're wanting to take with the macro ability for your lens as well. So we're going to test out today to kind of do a little bit of kind of like a watch commercial trailer kind of style, and just use the macro to get really up close and personal of the watch and show some details of it. It's going to be just a little piecing together and using a little bit of light to go around it and show it off. I mean, I've seen quite a few videos that are pretty cool with how they make it with like a lot of like the glare with the light and everything. So I kind of want to test it out myself and try it out and see how it turns out. So we're going to put these bad boys to the test and use them on my lens and see how it goes. So let's go put them on and get to work. So here is everything that we're going to be using and the other camera for the video, the A7 III. And we got our little backdrop in the back just to have a little bit of, a black background. I'm going to move the plant in a second just to not have it. But that's basically what I'm going to be using. This little tape, little electrical tape, to tape this down so it stands up, because I don't have anything else to stand it up with. I'm going to use both of the ring tubes on the 70-180 for now. If I feel like I need to change up the lens, I will, but right now I'm just going to be using that to get up close. So I'm going to show you how the rings work, and then you can just basically see how it'll play out. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to line it with a little dot right there, and then just bam, it's ready to go. You get your camera here, and then you just align it as well like you would do with any lens, and bam. That's the extension tubes right there. So what I'll do is just get a little bit of tape, get the watch to stand up straight as possible, and that's it. Bam, that's basically what it's gonna be like. So the tape does wonders. I mean, it does the job for what it needs to, because it's not gonna show the handles of the watch, it's just gonna be more of the watch face, and go from there. So my ultimate goal with this is to try to make a little bit of a snippet of a watch kind of commercial, nothing too crazy, just with the lights. So I'm gonna be using the tape to hold on the watch because I don't have anything else to maybe like stand it up with. And then just gonna use the macro converter filters by Neewer just to kind of get up close and personal. I am gonna be using my 70-180 lens, but I'm gonna be using it, I think, at about 70. I'm not sure. I'm gonna kind of test out the waters and see what I can get to get it nice and up close and personal and see how it looks, and then just go from there to see how the quality goes and get creative with it. So there's a little bit of behind the scenes about it. What I'm gonna try to do right now, because I'm just gonna test my own theory with this, I'm gonna use my A7R III, because it tends to do like the super crop mode or the APS-C sensor style. I know I can do it with this one too, but I know this one's more known for that. So I wanna see if it just makes a difference or not to make it like closer with that sense. That way I can have a little bit up closer kind of macro feeling, because I know if I do the zoom in with the lens, I still have to move back anyway. So like, it's not as macro as I would like it to be. So I know if I want to use a different lens to get up closer, I would just have to move the watch, but I want to try to avoid that right now since I want to keep it in the same spot. But worst case scenario, I'll just move it and use a different lens and add the rings to make it macro and see if that helps out. But we're gonna try this out first and see how it goes. So not sure if you'll be able to tell too much on the screen, but it's a little bit closer, so we're gonna test it out and see just how macro we can go with this. And then I'm actually gonna go ahead and try out some other lenses after this just to see if I have to get closer, just to get more detail and get some cool little just different shots, because I'm gonna be shooting it only on this good old tripod. So I want to kind of just keep it a little bit more interesting as much as I can from just a tripod stand. So here we go. So what's really cool with me is that you can do quite a bit with just a tripod. I mean, I do have a stabilizer that I could probably set it up to do a little bit more motion and everything, but for the sake of this video, I kind of wanted to limit myself to just only using a tripod and having the Neewer ring adapters to make my lenses more macro, and just see what I could create with just one little light, kind of make it a little bit intense and just get creative. So it's pretty cool what these Neewer $40 adapters can do, in all honesty. For how much and how little I really use macro lenses, this is a perfect fix for myself, because I know they just came out with like the new Sigma 105 macro, and they have every variation of macro lenses out there, but how often do you use macro is what you should be asking yourself to see, do I want to use a macro lens often? And I'm gonna be using it for, let's say, a lot of watches or diamonds or jewelry that I'm gonna be paid for that, then by all means probably get a better macro lens. But for myself and the sake of really just not using a macro lens that often, this $40 extension has been great. I got it from Lizzie Pierce YouTube channel. She did a video about it. She's a very great YouTuber, and I honestly wanted to try it for myself, but it does help to get creative with these macro lenses to kind of show a little bit of more detail that you can with the watches that other people wouldn't get. So far I've been loving it. I mean, $40, you can't really beat that. If you like it, you can check in the link in the description. I'll have it right there so you can get it if you want to, if you're wanting to change it up and get some more macro shots. So we're gonna piece it all together and show you the end result in a second here. But first, I'm gonna try it out on my 35 Sigma and see how much more into the macro world I can get for these shots, and then piece it all together and show you the end result. So we're gonna get that bad boy on. So how I expected, yeah, I do definitely need to get a lot closer with this 35. So what I'm gonna have to do is just move up the watch a lot closer, because I already try to go as far as I can and it's still not reaching. Like, watch. So I have to actually get a lot closer to try to get it to be showing more in depth. I took it off the tripod and just got it close to see how much I need to be close, and I do need to be quite a bit close with this one. So I'm gonna take it off where it's at located, and then I'm gonna add it a little bit closer at the end of the table where you still get the reflection kind of cool stuff, but then I can get closer with the lens and just make something nicer. So we're gonna do that real quick, and yeah, let's get these last few shots so that we can get this nice video out. And we are done filming it, so here is the little bit of the footage put together as a little kind of like trailer for the Invicta watch, little ad, kind of like film trailer. I kind of want to go for that, so hopefully you like it. So here you go. Anyways, guys, those are the Neewer converter for macro lenses to make your lenses into macro. So if you like them, definitely go check them out. I mean, for 40 bucks, you can't really miss, instead of having to buy a whole new macro lens. If you're gonna be using it for more macro things every day and for your paid jobs, then I do definitely probably suggest to just, get a real macro lens, because I can guarantee you it's probably gonna be a little bit more efficient since it is made for macro photography. But for the sake of me not using macro that often, I think this is the perfect solution for me. Hopefully this will help you decide if you wanna just go with a $40 extension tube and do that. But with all that said and done, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to like and subscribe, share this video with a friend, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.